everybody, and welcome to the BK tournament, our first hosted and casted tournament. We've got two teams here ready to play. They're in their band phase. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. I am Pillbox. I am casting today with my good friend Death's Blossom.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
So, real quick, Adagio band. Where do you think that's coming from?
I'm surprised. I'm also surprised to see the Kestrel. We saw the Kestrel band a lot, earlier in the season, but recently after the new updates, I haven't been seeing that Kestrel band coming out quite as often.
Finn. I would love to see a Finn. Thank you. Austin with a Y. A Finn comes out against this Catherine and this Ringo. It's going to be tough.
I think it's exciting to see both Gwen and a Catherine in a match, since those are so often banned from all the matches.
True. Very true.
But we could also see a pedal coming out, which would be very exciting.
I wouldn't think so here with these picks, but we'll see where they go with it. This Jewel's gonna be tough to counter.
We'll see how they do it.
I could see a CP Blackfeather coming out. I could see.
Uh-oh. If they get that pick in, oh, you got it right with the Blackfeather.
Here comes the Blackfeathers.
What a call!
And that is going to be CP, right? We haven't seen any weapon power Blackfeathers.
It could be weapon, but I would be very surprised.
I've seen these Crystal Ringos. It is a cocky pick, but
it's such a burst heavy build. I mean, they do have that ult, which is so scary, but they've also got a lot of very quick damage they can put down, a lot of poke with that slow. This will be a really good game to see. We'll see if Ben can control it.
Absolutely. The thing with the CP Ringo, it just takes so long to build. I just don't think he's worth that late into the thing. All right, we are into the fold, ready to go. This is, once again, the BK tournament. We have Austin with a Y, Neon Jinx, and Wrath of Monkey with, what is this, TCGZ. Do we remember the team names from oh, man.
He has it.
Nope, I can't get to it. Alright, so,
starting off with the root. Starting off with the root already on that Jewel. Those minions can be hell early on in the jungle.
Everybody's getting rooted.
The Catherine got rooted as well. I think it's very fun now in the jungle to have those roots. It does add a little bit of challenge to that farm.
Look at these candies coming out. Before the minute mark, we already have a candied wave here. I candied a wave for you once in a match, and it severely affected your farm in the first couple waves. Is that right?
Yeah, it did. That early minion candy is very interesting. It can make the enemy opponent have a rough time and get kind of pushed forward, but it also makes it so that afterwards, it's harder to get to your farms. Ringo has to overextend to get his farm now because the minion's pushed. But it also makes it hard to get your own farm because your minions are killing the other minions quite fast. And if you're not ready for it.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of this hanging out in lane. They came and poked around. Looks like they're starting their jungle rotations at the same time here. Yep, that is correct. We got the Roamer still in lane here.
And it's just Catherine, no Ringo.
Look at that damage. Wrath went full health down to almost nothing. Did that come out of the Ringo? That came out of the Ringo. Wow, what a burst there. And so, sharing experience here with the laner. I haven't seen how that played out. It was very pronounced in the previous updates, but this update it's been a little. So we still got a little bit of an engagement. It's still is it worth to travel with to go get those second and third waves of jungle death? Do you think?
I think it can be. I think the worry is just leaving your laner exposed now, since the jungle is so much safer. It does seem like that roam is staying in the lane a lot more often because that's where all the fights are happening. A lot more, lane ganks happening. Just because they don't have to really worry about the enemy invading the jungle so much. So it does seem like the roam is leeching a lot of experience again out of that lane.
Yes, which can also be, you're candying it, you're leeching experience, you're pushing down lane. It seems very, aggressive, but you're kind of setting the enemy laner up for farming under their turret, which everybody loves if you're able to get them down there with full health. A good nice wave, all full health, hanging out under your turret. Ringo's getting a little cheeky here in top bush, gonna lay down some damage. He gets away with less health than he put down, but still just poking around here. We got the junglers going down here to shop. Shop is not up yet, but they are just getting their bottoms and moving back up to lane. Real quiet in here so far. How's the farm? How's everybody doing in farm? We got a nice little lead coming out of B side here. Stun comes down on the Ringo. Lots of damage. He's backing up under turret.
That was a nice little exchange for the blue team right there.
Hanging out in the lane here.
Now, Pill, I do have a question for you, unless we deal with more action here.
Looks like they're poking around. CP is still, Ringo still has full CP, so he could do some work up there. Blackfeather's getting a start on his jungle early. I like this. Talked about it. He getting that early jungle rotation going and catching up to them in their jungle, or being able to push lane and do some damage to that turret. Super effective. Let's see if it pays off for him by clearing this farm fast.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Mr. Pill. What do you like? This is kind of an interesting thing. A lot of people really love those early team engages and those early kills, but as far as my theory goes, I only think those early engagements are important if you get farm out of it. I think that farm is really the most important part of that early game, especially like the first 6 to 8 minutes.
Absolutely, and it sets an attitude. It sets an attitude of we're gonna make you fight for your farm. So the engagements, these little pokes and stuff for Catherine, definitely going to work out. She wants these engagements. They shouldn't be letting her build up stacks. She doesn't seem to be worried about it too much here, though. She doesn't seem to be laying down stuns too frivolously. They seem more pointed, but here we go. Gwen takes a stun. She is backing up. Finn's coming out. Jewel comes down on the Catherine, lands the stun. She is very low, backing up to turret. Blackfeather pokes around and ults out towards his own turret. Fountain comes out for B side. Blackfeather re-engages. Gwen is very low. She goes down in the middle of the lane, a little extended there. Ult from the Jewel whiffs to the left as the enemy team backs up. They are low, they are very low, but they are sitting on some CP and can do some damage here or retreat if needed. Jewel jumps out again and the Ringo gets away, very close. He's going to come in with that slow. Oh, and down goes Jewel. I didn't see where that damage came from. Was that an on point from Blackfeather?
It came out of that Ringo. That Ringo just staying in that back, laying down some heavy damage, keeping safe, because he did get a little bit low from that Jewel ult.
That was a great fight, real back and forth. I saw a lot of farming in between for that Ringo, getting those crits to land on the enemy heroes. Good stuff.
I think it's pretty safe to say that was all about that early Fountain coming out from that Catherine, because Team Red was definitely down there at the start of that fight. Ringo was pretty close, Catherine was pretty low, and they definitely turned that around. And I would like to mention that we just saw the middle of the fold right there. We've got a lot of vision coming out from the red team. You see Finn just popping a mine there. It looks like the red team is really getting that vision game down pretty solid. Kraken.
Okay. Got one on the gold miner. Getting ready for it.
I think that's a really strong point for that early game, getting that vision.
2 counters here against the Gwen. I think that's really interesting. I mean, against Gwen counters both Catherine and Finn counters Catherine. I think that was a very good choice. Rather than ban the Catherine, just play to the strengths of your characters. We use a Skye, and I like Skye a lot to burst down.
Ult coming out of the Ringo.
Here we go. Stun comes out on the cat. They're focusing this Catherine. In comes the Ringo, out with an ult from the Jewel, almost melting the team, but they sidestepped it. Jewel is very low. She needs back up from this. She goes down in the middle of the lane. to a barrage of damage from both the Ringo and an on point from the Black Feather. Great fight out of Team B.
Now, what do you think about Team A focusing the Catherine? They focused the Catherine both last fight and this fight, and neither time it came away for them. I mean, sometimes focusing the roam can be efficient if you can get them low enough, but it looks like they're just leaving the enemy carries in position to just do some damage and not have too much pressure.
True. This Jewel's going to have a lot of work to do putting this ult down on a Ringo. I'm pretty certain that she was sure that she was going to kill that Catherine and that hopefully get the Ringo, but clearly that did not work out. The sustain from this Catherine is going to be worrisome, especially with all that damage and her bubble. Landing a stun, especially from a Jewel, I think it was worth on that Catherine. I think the Finn is going to be the one that's hard to really land damage on and get early. So if they can get a Catherine, I say go for it.
Okay. Well, if they can get it, they haven't gotten it yet. So this will be
stun comes out on the Black Feather from the Gwen from under her turret. They got all triple pull. Everybody comes in, almost taking down the Finn with them. They back up from the turret. Jules here, full health. Team B is at a disadvantage right now. I know they're sitting on a fountain. They are all at half health. Another ult from the Ringo comes out and lands on the Jewel.
Not a lot of damage.
Black Feather landing on points. Not a lot, you're right. And they are still focusing this Catherine. Out comes the fountain. You can see how her health bar barely moved through any of that. And Jewel took so much damage. She goes down in her own mustache. Gwen is retreating under turret, takes shots from Ringo and goes down. That stutter step was great. They are very low health, but these fights are tooth and nail.
I'm gonna say it again. Don't put that damage onto that Catherine. She's got a bigger health pool. Even though when she's at half health, she's probably got more health than that Ringo.
Every time that Jewel jumps in, a slow comes out from the Ringo, and it just makes her disengage so much harder.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That Catherine is just baiting it, and she's doing it so well.
So they are taking this gold mine with very low health. Finn is just waiting here. We got to see him come up. Here it comes, triple pull and a stun. They get the gold mine with an ult from the Jewel way back by her mid. Great shot, great steal. I want to say that was a misplay by Team Red. I don't think they should have been trying to take that with so low health. No vision on anybody there.
They were very. I think they were very confident in it. They probably knew it was a little bit of risky business. It looked like the Catherine was trying to lead her carry away there for a little bit, but it was close, and it unfortunately didn't work out in their favor.
With that gold mine, they closed the gold's lead on a team that is 5 kills above them. So they actually overtook them by 1,000.
Wow, that's huge.
That is totally worth for Team A. Catherine's coming out. She's starting to lay down these stuns a little more flippantly, just to get numbers up, just to build your stacks and get that perk going for late game.
And maybe flippantly isn't the right word, because it's for good use. It's not like just haphazard.
True. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
What we're trying to say
I like it just coming out on anybody that gets close, even the Finns. Just go ahead and stun them. Just build those stacks.
Absolutely, those armor stacks really come in handy in the late game.
So we got some skirmishing happening here in the lane. Jewel jumps in on that Catherine again and turns and ults the Ringo. Ringo has to retreat. Gwen goes down from the Black Feather. That was, she died so quickly. I couldn't even see it. That was we still got the engage happening here. Ult comes out from the Catherine from their mustache. They are going to hang in their lane. They're jumping out now a little bit. Wow, the speed on that Catherine. That was some scary speed right there.
Yeah, what happened with the Gwen there was Gwen was hanging out near top bush, kind of thought she was safe. They had that vision up there, but Kathy came from the bottom bush with that stun, landed it, and that Ringo and the Black Feather both closed in on that stunned Gwen. Ringo got his slow on and Black Feather on point. And I mean, that Gwen, that double slow, she was out.
Laying down the stun in top bush, but gonna pay for it. All the abilities coming out of Finn and Gwen for that one, and ult, and that she went down quite quickly. She is taking on the Ringo right here. He's backing up, but she did take some serious damage. Pull from the Finn lands, and a stun comes out. Here comes some damage. All right, so their turret is pushed, and Ringo is on the retreat. He is farming under his turret. Looks like he's doing fine. Here comes the train who could from his mustache. Going to try and help his Ringo out here. Ringo ults the Finn in his own bush, does little to nothing. Finn is going to be just fine. Totally happy to eat that. Would probably take another just to save his carry there.
Now, what I'm curious about, Pill, is what are you thinking about this Finn right now? What is Team A trying to do with this Finn here? Like, what's their kind of game plan going to be? And what is the red team's plan to counter?
Okay, so what I've seen so far is a lot of initiation coming out of the Jewel. So the Jewel jumps in, maybe Gwen gets a poke down, and so when the Jewel jumps in, Finn runs in and beats. So what he's doing is they are creating so much area underneath them that is under their control that it really, maybe they don't have the damage, but they have the element of slow and damage over time to really poke someone down and get that stun coming out from Finn to do some work. If she can land that ult on someone who's been stunned and jumped on by this Finn, I really feel like these combos are going to pay off big time. Now to counter that, you see a lot of kiting from the Ringo. Ringo is playing very well. He's staying
and he got that Ringo ult on the win.
Pull comes out. He just no cares at all. Just ulting that Catherine. Just really doesn't have any issue with that death. Gwen burned from that ult. Team B is doing work here. They kill the Finn before he can get under his turret. Jewel is still full health. She had low CP after that ult. I can see why she didn't engage as hard. But like I was saying, since we're breaking off here, I think they're going to try and grab a gold mine. No, they're going to just go back to farming. They were behind on their rotation. Ringo is low. He's going to go home. So I love team fights when you have a Finn, because if all else fails, if your pokes fail, if a dive fails, you can run back to your semi-turret. He's basically this giant rod of power. That came out wrong. Where he controls the area around him. He's got a devastating stun, and as you saw, he does 450 damage with it right now. Where it's at, and that is so much. So to counter that, this Ringo's is kiting a lot and going up top. He's playing in this top bush a lot, and they have vision up there now, but they haven't. And he's trying to snipe this Gwen and get off ults as quickly as possible. And I can't see the builds. Is he Crystal?
He is. I'm gonna take a look at this real quick. I've got those things.
He is not. Yes, he is Crystal. So this Ringo's trying to lay down. I can't tell if he has an echo, but I did see some ults back to back pretty quick.
And it's so weapon black feather. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were wrong. We were wrong about that.
Yeah. You said when the match started, I talked about it. I don't like it that much. I just don't feel like this ult is as effective, and it can be countered so easily that if they wait for it, if they wait for both of them, they can really work the time with these fights and engage when they want to.
I mean, if Team A gets the reflex blocks against the Ringo's ult, and if Team B gets the reflex block against the Finn pull, it'll be a very interesting match. But if either team, gets those double ults or gets pulled into something nasty, it can be pretty rough for both teams.
And so, look at that. We're whiffing these abilities. All these fights could have been decided if any one of these abilities had landed. We had the ults from the Jewel, we had the ults from the Catherine, we had the ults from the Ringo. Oh, this damage. Blackfeather is chunked and he is on the retreat.
Well, and Ringo's down.
Ringo went down very quickly.
Jewel sniped that Ringo very hard. She finally got that kill with him.
Look at it, just jump straight for the Catherine. She's not worried about Ringo or Blackfeather because of their mobility. Increasing your chances of landing is jumping on your roam, and they're going to be forced to respond somehow. That ult comes out and almost melts the Blackfeather again. He's playing with nothing. Finn pulls the Catherine, stun comes down from the Jewel, and they're going to take this turret and try and finish off this Catherine.
And I don't know if you saw that, Blackfeather came too close, and that gave the ace away, didn't it? Or no, Ringo's already out.
I did not see Blackfeather go down, but he, trying to save that turret. They were taking a lot of shots from it. You see, Finn already just went home. Ringo's chasing. He knows they're low. CP, ult for an ult to the face. He's going down this Jewel, burning to death in his own shot bush, while Gwen looks on and takes his farm.
She did look cool while doing it, though. That new skin looking pretty awesome.
You like that skin?
She went down in style.
All right, so
good job on that Ringo, though, coming back and trying to get a little bit of something for their loss.
Yes, absolutely. And we are just one turret down. That's not too bad. How many minutes are we in? Let's see. 20 minutes.
We are 18 minutes and 20 seconds in, and we are at about a 4K deficit for the blue team.
Okay.
Or sorry, I apologize. About a 2K deficit for the red team. They've been getting killed, but they haven't been getting that farm.
Yeah, the farm, the lane. I love watching these lanes now. I was a little wary of it at first, but now that we've watched, so many matches in the past 2 days, I love it. I love maybe not so much the early game, but there's a lot of lane fighting going on.
It does make it very interesting.
You have to find a way to engage, and right now it seems it would appear that these are failed engages by Team A that are being cashed in on by Team B. Not landing these ults.
And Gwen missing that reflex block, burning
to death. She is literally out of the game now. Might just be hanging back. I know she's gonna be waiting for a fountain. Jewel takes a stun underneath her own turret. They are see how high up they are and separated they are. They don't necessarily need to be that, but they are definitely not messing around with this Jewel. They don't want her to burst any one or two of them at any given time. So they are staying far and away from each other. They know she's been jumping on this Catherine, so they're staying away from their Catherine. I like that spread. This, and Gwen is getting a little too close. She can die from an on point here. Jewel comes out from the Ringo, 623 on to the Jewel.
And Jewel
Here comes
also
the
missed
Catherine
that
with a
reflex.
Ulting the Ringo. Oh, this is just so back and forth. The fountain comes out. It is too late for that pull. Stun comes down on the and Gwen is going down to the weapon power Blackfeather, taking a couple shots from the turret, but he's going to be just fine. All right, they're going to push this turret with pretty good health. Mario just took another shot from the turret, so he's probably going to be a little backed up here. Jewel's hanging back. She's low health, but she can do some work here if she's got an ult. Stun comes down, the Ringo ult comes out, finishes him up. She just playing the patient game, didn't go home, wasn't too scared, just waited it out, and as soon as he started putting shots on that turret, Jewel dropped it on that Ringo. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That was a very interesting fight. That Gwen overextending just a little bit, getting caught out. Ringo trying to put that damage on the turret, thinking that he was safe from that Jewel. That was interesting.
I like these really powerful CP ults. I do like it. I don't know how effective it is as far as being able to say engage or disengage from your team.
Yes, absolutely. It's some great poke, lots of damage, but just hasn't quite been hitting like they wanted it to. But one thing I would like to note is that Gwen and the Jewel both missed the reflex blocks on the burn from that Ringo ult. I don't know if you saw that. It looked like they landed it, but they still burnt up in the end.
And you turned me on to this. I've always been a fan of defense, but knowing when and how to use your reflex blocks, ladies and germs, that is going to be so important, especially when you're facing something like a CP Ringo. You need to be having that finger hover over it all the time. It's so slow. Look at this. Look at all the time she has. Is she going to get that? Did not get a reflex block off of that. It is going to take all that damage. That's somewhere like 800, 900 damage total with the burn.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of damage. All right, we got a stunted camera here. Okay,
there we are. We're back, folks.
All right, Ringo's going down under his turret. Finn's going down under his turret from the Ringo. They're going to take this turret as well, and Team B is starting to come alive here as far as being able to push objectives. I'm not sure, but it looks like Gwen passed out a little early in that fight. I didn't see the Gwen go down.
I did not either. The camera, unfortunately, was not on her, but I'm guessing that they just went a little too close down to the mid and got a little caught.
Another good root coming out of these OP jungle minions.
Those health minions, they are just laying down those roots. Think they're Lance or something.
How many games did it take you before you stopped shopping, trying to shop at 1 minute, and get away from those roots?
I still do it. I still will run up to a minion, get rooted once in a while. It's kind of sad, really. I'd rather not disclose that.
I've shaken the 1 minute shop. Managed to get that one out of my system. But
is Gwen overextending?
all right, this Kraken is pushing down. It looks like Team A is keeping the distance, but Gwen is dangerously low for these for this lifesteal from this Black Feather. He has no problem jumping in there. Gwen Jewel jumps to save her. He is pulling it off. Ringo is laying down the damage, and they are disappearing one by one. It is over. Both the carries drop side by side, trying to save each other. It looks like they're still holding hands. Finn trying to save these turrets with as much as he can do, but he is going to have to walk it on back home. He's taking the long road, eating a lot of damage.
He is a great defensive wall, but walls don't move, and that is one issue that Finn does have. Is he is very, very slow. If he's far from a safe area and he's engaged on, he can't run. He can't get away like some of the other more mobile heroes.
True.
This game, folks.
Great showing by King Mario, Fluffin, and the train who could.
And a great showing by Blue Team as well.
This is a one-time elimination, and so they move on, and we will see the next match and who they are going against.